Hey, Derek here at Castaway Studios. I did a video yesterday about my first experiences of using Chromecast plugged into my monitor, and then using Google Pictures, or what do they call it? Google Photos in folders, and then having Google Home then send out a slideshow in what's known as ambient mode on this device. And it's working. Look at that over there. It's got a slideshow playing. So yesterday we talked about how I got Photoshop and sort of made a template in order to go through a 10-minute process of creating the right dimensions, so that when we Chromecasted to the ultra-wide vertical monitor, it would be the right size and shape and fill in the whole screen, right? So I'll show you that. You can look at the other video. I'll put a link up or something. So that's what's going on here. I might jump into Photoshop and show you what I did last night. And to be honest with you, it's the first proper use of AI I reckon I've done. And I found it by surprise. I was looking around to ways of, doubling a square layer and blurring the rest to fill the whole monitor. But in the end, I found some crazy stuff. So I'm going to get into it now. First thing, I just spent last night playing around with this stuff, and on my laptop at home, and I just sort of exported the action set that I'd made. Okay, so what's happened is I realized that because I had the new laptop at home, I put Photoshop on, and it gave me all this information about what to do with AI and all that. And I was like, what? This is last night. Which instantly, basically, driving in the car home yesterday, I thought, wouldn't it be great if there was something that could do this, this, and this? I get home, install Photoshop 2024, I think, into my new laptop, and it literally gives me a window saying, how would you like to do this, this, and this? Automatically. So let's have a crack. All right. So I don't know what this is, so I'm going to just piss it off. Right. Okay. So I'm one of these people that's just used Photoshop for decades, since it came out, but hasn't really gone deep because it's just kind of a handy tool. It's like, I'm not an expert at using a jigsaw, right? But I know how to use a jigsaw, that kind of thing, right? If I really need to know how to use it, then I'll have to go do a course or something. So here we are. So here we go. Open file. I thought, what can I do to sort of test this process? And I figured the best thing is just download just straight up a podcast image, right? Someone's show graphics that isn't one of my clients, right? So my favorite show is Cocaine and Rhinestones. So what I've done is I've downloaded just their show image in the fantasy that for some weird reason they'd be over here. He'd be over here wanting to do a podcast. My favorite. All right. So let's have a look. Now, the important thing is this here, right? So I have, let's see what happens, but I set this and exported this action. So what the action does is it takes this image here, and no matter what size it is, it makes it 180p, right? It makes it 180, I should say, wide, right? Regardless of its dimensions. It's 180 wide. Then the next one crop, right? So that is to do with that AI business. But essentially, it's creating the canvas that is around it, the same width, 1080, but the canvas to the relative height of that monitor over there. Okay, so which is an ultra wide monitor. So that would be 2520 from the top of my head. Okay, pixels high. So the second stage, it says crop because it's something to do with that AI, right? Then it rotates it sideways so that when I turn my monitor up, it's the correct way up. And then I squish the image in one axis in the vertical, horizontal axis. So I squish the image down to 1920 so that when the Chromecast is playing the image, it thinks the image is a normal 180p photo sideways. It spits it out to that. It stretches it out, which I've squashed, so it unsquashes it, right? And then I've physically got the monitor turned upwards. So let's see what happens when I press play. Now, I've turned the save off. I've deleted the save off here because I did it in my laptop and I figured two things. Number one, it'll say save it into a folder that doesn't exist. I don't want it to make another one somewhere in this particular computer. And also, so I want the final result just to sit there, hopefully in front of us to have a look at. So are we ready? I'm going to press play. Fingers crossed. Ooh. Okay. So it's generating. So what it is, right, as far as I know, the process says, do you want to generate background? So you've got an image, then you get the option of, it uses the crop function, but it basically enlarges the canvas size and then puts stuff in that area using AI. So there it is. That's not too bad. So that's the image. You'll see the text and everything is squashed because it's to use on that computer over there, that computer monitor over there, and which will stretch it back out. Bingo. So there you go. It's a few seconds now. Managed to save myself 9 minutes and 50 seconds each time. That's a nice one. But check this out. If I, that would save it. I've got, last night when I was experimenting, I got it to save it as a copy, but I haven't quite worked out how to do it. And I more than welcome anyone telling me how to do this, but I'd like it when I save a copy in Reaper or one of my other softwares, it just saves copy 1, copy 2, copy 3. It'd be awesome to do that because then I could have this automatically saving a copy. Then I could undo and generate another AI, and I could have a slideshow that had the same show in the middle, the same image in the middle, and generate different types of things around the outside. You can even just see in the background there last night's efforts, where it's just come up with different things above and below my show image. So I'm going to undo it. So it's undoing everything one thing at a time. Right, so here we are back to the beginning. And let's do it again. Generating. Let's see what happens. Better hold your breath. It's starting to tick. Better hold my hand. I'm feeling quite sick. Similar, but then again, what I discovered yesterday is I need, 2 or 3 images in the folder for the Chromecast or for Google Home to generate a little slideshow. When I put only one in, it appears to sort of jump out and start using random sort of landscapes and stuff from its own thing. So there you go. That's how I do it. As of last night, my first proper use of AI. In fact, before I let you go, let's do something else, right? Actually, I'm going to do that one. Oh, doing it again. Let's see what happens this time. Because you can actually change. I've set it to, what have I set it to do? I'll have a look. But in the in this process, oh, see, look what it's done there. It's made a pattern without the text of flower. That is amazing. Look at that. I'll put it up right so you can see it. How crazy is that? So it's just, all right. You're going to be calling me old now because I'm blown away. All right, that's it. That's what I do. And then I just collect those pictures and put them in the Google Photos folder for that particular podcast. And then I set the ambient settings using my phone. I set the ambient settings to use only that folder. That's it. Goodbye.